I decided to rewrite Jurassic Park using artificial intelligence, but with a twist. Kia ora Dino fans, it's your friend Antosaurus here, and this is my favourite book of all time, Jurassic Park. If you're after some good reads, I'll put my top 5 favourite fiction books down in the description, so check them out. But with all the hype around AI at the moment, artificial intelligence, I thought, why don't we put this to the test? Why don't we have a bit of fun and recreate this epic sci-fi adventure, but with me, yours truly, in it. Jurassic Park, the Antosaurus edition. Let's go! Okay, I'm using the ever popular ChatGPT. I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can jump on and have a bit of fun exploring yourselves. Let's get into it. All right, write a 500-word story about Antosaurus, a dinosaur-loving YouTuber. He gets invited to Jurassic Park where everything starts to go wrong. Will he survive? All right, let's see what we get. All right, it's riding away, chugging away. This is looking good, looking interesting. All right, let's have a look, see what it came up with. Antosaurus was a dinosaur-loving YouTuber who had always dreamed of visiting Jurassic Park. Heck yeah. So when he received an invitation to visit the park and meet the scientists who worked there, he was overjoyed. Oh yeah. He packed his bags and set off on his adventure. As soon as he arrived at the park, Antosaurus was greeted by the chief scientist, Dr. Alan Grant. Woo! How does it know about this? Yeah! Dr. Grant showed Antosaurus around the park, introducing him to the different dinosaurs and explaining the science behind their existence. Antosaurus was in awe of the giant creatures that roamed the park. He couldn't believe that he was actually standing in front of a real-life T-Rex. I would be stunned. This is awesome. However, things started to go wrong when Antosaurus and Dr. Alan Grant were touring the park in a Jeep. Suddenly, the Jeep broke down and they were stranded in the middle of the park. As they waited for help, they heard a loud roar in the distance. It was a T-Rex! The T-Rex was coming straight towards them. This is terrifying. Antosaurus was terrified, but Dr. Grant kept his cool. He instructed Antosaurus to get into the Jeep and lock the doors. Antosaurus did as he was told, and the T-Rex walked past the Jeep, ignoring them completely. Whew. Dr. Grant explained that the T-Rex had been trained to ignore the Jeeps and that they were safe. But their relief was short-lived. As they were driving back to the main compound, they heard a loud alarm going off. There had been a power failure and all the electric fences that kept the dinosaurs contained had shut off. All the dinosaurs were now loose and roaming the park. This is sounding familiar. Antosaurus and Dr. Grant quickly made their way back to the main compound, where they found the rest of the staff huddled together. They were trying to come up with a plan to get the power back on and contain the dinosaurs. As they were discussing their options, they heard a loud crash. A Triceratops had broken through the wall and was rampaging through the compound. Whew, this didn't happen in the movie. Antosaurus and the staff quickly evacuated the building and made their way to the control room. They knew that if they could get the power back on, they could contain the dinosaurs and restore order to the park. They managed to get the power back on, but it was too late. The dinosaurs had already caused too much destruction. Antosaurus and the staff were trapped in the control room with no way out. They knew they had to come up with a plan to survive. Antosaurus came up with an idea. Bing! He remembered that there was an old helicopter on the property that could still fly. Wonder how I knew that. He suggested they use the helicopter to escape the park. The staff quickly agreed and they made their way to the helicopter. They managed to start the engine and take off just in time. They flew over the park, watching as the dinosaurs continued to roam freely. Antosaurus couldn't believe what he had just witnessed. He had been in the middle of one of the most dangerous situations of his life, and he had managed to survive. As they landed safely outside the park, Antosaurus realized that his dream of visiting Jurassic Park had turned into a nightmare. Sure had. But he also realized that he had learned a valuable lesson. He had seen the destructive power of the dinosaurs and the importance of keeping them contained. He knew that he could never forget his experience, and it would only make him appreciate the wonder of these creatures even more. Oh my goodness. How did it do that? Artificial intelligence took the movie of Jurassic Park, put me in there, it knew the characters, it knew the dinosaurs, it knew what happened in the plot, and wrote me a 500-word summary, a quick, short story of the movie. That was epic, and I survived. Woo, bonus! However, I've always thought, if I was actually in these books, if I was actually in the movies, and I had to die, I didn't make it, how would I die? What dinosaur would eat me? Would a dinosaur eat me? Should we find out? All right, let's try this again. We'll make it a bit shorter this time. Write a 300-word story about Antosaurus, a dinosaur-loving YouTuber. He gets invited to Jurassic Park, a dream come true. But he doesn't leave the park alive. Here we go. Do we want to find out how I die? All right, let's do it. It's generating. All right. Looks like it's done. Here we go. Antosaurus was a dinosaur-loving YouTuber who always dreamed of visiting Jurassic Park. So when he received an invitation to visit the park and meet the scientists who worked there, he was overjoyed. He packed his bags and set off on his adventure. Sounding similar so far. As soon as he arrived at the park, Antosaurus was greeted by the chief scientist, Dr. Alan Grant. Yep, Dr. Grant showed Antosaurus around the park, introducing him to the different dinosaurs and explaining the science behind their existence. Antosaurus was in awe of the giant creatures that roamed the park. He couldn't believe that he was actually standing in front of a real-life T-Rex. Very similar. But his excitement quickly turned to fear when he saw the park's security measures. The electric fences that were supposed to keep the dinosaurs contained looked old and faulty, this is different, and the emergency protocols were inadequate. He raised his concerns to Dr. Grant, but he was assured that everything was under control. Despite his doubts, Antosaurus decided to enjoy his visit and make the most of his dream come true. Oh, this sounds like me. He filmed and took pictures with all the dinosaurs and even got to ride on a Triceratops. Woohoo! He was having the time of his life, but his joy was short-lived. Uh-oh. As he was getting ready to leave the park, a massive power failure caused all the electric fences to shut off. The dinosaurs were now loose and roaming the park. Antosaurus and the staff were trapped with no way out. In the chaos, Antosaurus was killed. Oh, here we go. Antosaurus was killed and devoured by a pack of velociraptors. Oh my gosh, not the way I would want to go. Maybe a T-Rex, but the velociraptors, whoa. His death was a tragic reminder of the danger and fragility of life when it comes to wild animals, and the importance of proper safety measures. Despite his tragic end, Antosaurus' videos and photos still remain as a testament of his passion and love for dinosaurs. His legacy continues to inspire others to appreciate and respect these ancient creatures. Is that a sign? My YouTube videos are going to leave a legacy on dinosaurs? Wow, I'll tell you what, I never expected to go out via a pack of velociraptors. Like I said, I thought T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus, stomped on by a Brachiosaurus, I don't know. But hey, wasn't that a bit of fun? Artificial intelligence. If you found that scary, I've got a challenge for you. Jump on this video over here. It's all the Jurassic Park deaths back to back. Are you brave enough? Do you think you can do it? I'll come along for the journey with you. Let's go!